I'm not a $1 million coach or consultant, but here's my productivity system that I follow to stay productive and get more done. Hello everyone, welcome back. For those who are new here, I'm Umar, the founder of GrowthWinner. On this channel, I share my learnings and insights on SEO. In this video, I'm going to share my productivity system as an SEO. Let's start with my sleep routine. My rule of thumb here is to sleep when I want to and wake up when I have got enough sleep. I understand you should not change the sleep time on daily basis, so you can train your mind to sleep at a certain or specific time. Since I'm mostly traveling and I work with clients who are in a time zone with 12-hour difference, so I have to manage it. One key thing here is that if you're sleeping early to wake up early so you can do the work that you are not doing right now by waking up a little at night, so you're constantly hitting your mind with anxiety thoughts. Again, it's everyone's personal preference. I'm sharing my opinion here. Here is the disclaimer. This is strictly not a medical advice, so you better consult with the doctor for any sleep or health related advice. If you feel sleepy, tired, and lazy when you get to work, it's probably a sign that you didn't have enough sleep last night. I normally sleep for about 7 hours since that's enough for me. I identified it this way. Whenever I get less than 7 hours of sleep, my performance is really bad all day. I have headache, I feel tired, and being lazy at work. To get quality sleep, I aim for these 3 things. Number 1, not eating anything 3 hours prior to sleep time. Number 2, sleeping in a non-noisy environment. Number 3, no lights. The number 1 thing when it comes to sleep is trying my best not to wake up during midnight. Normally, we wake up to pee, so do not drink or eat anything 3 hours before going to bed. Another thing that can cause you to wake up is any type of noise. So if it's a humming noise, I use dark noise. Currently, I'm using my AirPods for this. Literally, it helps me sleep within 15 minutes, provided I'm not thinking about next Google Core update. The last thing, lights. I'm referring to both screen and room lights here. For screen lights, I try my best not to use mobile phone 1 hour before going to bed unless necessary. In that 1 hour, I do book reading for 30 minutes. Since I like hard copy, I have my AirPods in my ears for the audio version and book in my hands to read. For the rest of half an hour, I plan my next day. I'll share how later in the video. For mobile phone, the best way is to keep it in the second room or at least 20 feet away, so it's difficult for you to approach it instantly. Also, right before going to bed, if I am at home, I keep it on airplane mode, and while traveling, I keep it silent. Another setting that you will love is turning off Wi-Fi from settings. If you don't do that, it will keep searching for Wi-Fi, and once you unlock your mobile screen in the morning, it will automatically turn on. And that is something I don't want. I will share later why. Since we all are pretty much working on laptops or computer screens and I have to use them after sunsets. I use blue light blocking glasses when I am working inside or where the sunlight is not available. And after the sunsets, it's a must. Thanks to my Delegate for recommending these blue light blocking glasses. The biggest reason to avoid light is because when your brain is getting a constant stream of light, you are sending a signal that it's not nighttime and you are not prepping to sleep. Okay, for the room lights, even if every single light in the room is turned off, I still use my eye mask so I don't open my eyes and go to sleep as soon as possible. So, eye mask plus dark noise equals a best combo to reduce time to sleep. I'm currently using my Apple Watch to keep track of my sleep, but one of the biggest thing it helps me with is alarm. I may get an Aura ring for better sleep tracking, but I'm good with the current settings of my watch. For alarm, I heard a lot of people saying that a physical alarm clock helps, but over the years of following this routine, I do not turn back to sleep once alarm rings the bell. Morning routine. Okay, it's wake up time. Now you will get to know the reason why I keep my mobile phone away from the bed. I do not turn on the Wi-Fi or check notifications till I finish my breakfast, because if you have a habit of checking your phone right after you wake up, you will either open Facebook or WhatsApp and keep using it. After breakfast and spending time with my family, I get straight to work. My work productivity system. Since I have a physical office as well, I only go to the office for any type of strategic work or for something that needs my entire focus. I used to come to office from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. but things were not getting done as I wanted. So I just tweaked the routine to only come to office when it's needed. The first thing that I do in the morning and would highly recommend is getting the most difficult task done. Even if it's not the difficult in particular, but if it seems difficult, just get it done. For me, it was this video today and I'm recording it earlier in the morning. If I don't have any task that seems difficult and I need to get it done first, then I go on working on creating something. Mainly, there are two possibilities. Either we are consuming or creating, but I never prefer to consume anything first in the morning. It could be anything from checking emails or Slack, watching YouTube or a course, or listening to a podcast, because our mind keeps on processing it even after we stop the consumption. For creating stuff, it could be anything for me, writing scripts for the videos like this, creating a post for my social media accounts, recording videos, or if working on developing some sort of automation, I write the code in the morning. Another thing that I don't do is scheduling meetings before lunch. Meetings are such a waste of time, and I will tell you why. Take a look at recent meetings that you did. Most likely, half of them can be done if you just record a Loom video and send it to the next person. It could be anyone, your client, manager, or someone from your team. The rest of it can be managed with a project management tool. If that meeting was to explain something, just add it in a Trello with SOP to get it done. If it can be explained via Loom and you can't assign it through a project management software, then schedule a 15 to 30 minute meeting. I prefer not to exceed 30 minutes time limit, since if it's taking longer than 30 minutes, it quickly becomes a time wasting thing and not a productive meeting. For in-person meetings, it's mainly for something that's a big decision for the business. It could be meeting a business partner or hiring a C-level employee in the company, and so on and so forth. Since I'm working on personal SEO projects while managing an agency full-time alongside, I dedicate 2 hours per day to those projects, either in the morning on days I'm not creating something, or in the evening. Now, while I am on work mode, here's how it looks like. I have a tablet that I use just for the timer. There's an app named Minimalist Pomodoro Timer. I use 50-minute Pomodoro timer and then takes 10 minutes break. Alongside, I have a default stopwatch open to keep track of how much time a particular task took. I will tell you later in the video where I note this down. If you don't have a tablet or do not want to set up like this, use Marinara Chrome extension for Pomodoro and Stopwatch Chrome extension for Stopwatch. Once again, the Pomodoro is to remind me when to take a break and Stopwatch is to track time across tasks. Put it this way, you may get 2 tasks done 25 minutes each in one Pomodoro session and then take 10 minutes break. With a Pomodoro timer and Stopwatch, I have my AirPods with a noise cancellation mode turned on and white noise playing in the background. I use Brain FM for white noise, but you can find plenty of white noise videos on YouTube for free that you can play in the background. Try different noises and see which ones relates to you best. While I am working, I always keep my mobile phone upside down. It automatically enables the work mode when I'm in the office, so it doesn't notify me of any notifications other than incoming calls from my family. If I have to use mobile phone, it would be in 10 minutes of Pomodoro break. And another tip that I don't recommend others is working in a room with no windows. See, if a cool weather is changing your mood and your work is dependent on your mood, then you just can't focus on the work and always look outside and something will catch your attention. And the next thing, you may hate me saying, but I hate multiple tabs. It's killer to your productivity. That's why I always do one task at a time and keep only those tabs open that are needed. It's better for my laptop's battery health as well. If something comes up in my mind while I'm working with focus, I note it down on sticky notes. I do not open my to-do list or anything. I clear my head right away to stay focused on what I'm doing. There is 1 hour long break for lunch and offering prayer from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. It's automatically blocked in my calendar as well, so I eat lunch and offer prayer on time regularly. One important habit that I follow is trying not to drink 8 to 10 glasses of water per day. I used to do that before I heard Alex Hormozy saying your body will adjust it. Drinking more water means you have to pee more, and every time you stand up from your desk, you will get distracted for sure. As I said earlier in the video, for the remaining half an hour after book reading before I go to bed, I plan my next day. Here is how. I have a Google Sheet that is named Warm Up Calendar, and I dump every task that needs to be scheduled on each day based on the priority of the week. And I never schedule anything that can be done in under 5 to 10 minutes. I get it done right away every day. Each day in the week is divided into primary focus activity. For example, on Monday, the primary work is scripting all videos. On Saturday, it's recording all videos. You can set these up based on your preferences. My reason of choosing Monday for scripting and Saturday for recording is that if any idea comes to my mind from Tuesday till Friday, I can edit it in the script before recording the final video. Then I use Google Calendar to consciously block the time slot for each activity that I need to perform the very next day. I block these time slots based on the tasks that I get dumped in warm-up calendar for the respective day and date. And while blocking the time slots for the task to be done tomorrow, I always have 1 hour slot of unassigned tasks. It could be anything that needs my attention, whether from my team or clients. But on the flip side, since I have meetings with team, have SEO consulting sessions, networking calls to meet anyone online, and most importantly, sales calls with potential clients, I have conditioned inside Calendly that no one can book a call 24 hours prior to meeting. It helps a ton, since mostly if a client wants to meet very next hour, they would just book the call right away while I'm enjoying my dinner with my family. Also, I will link to Makers versus Manager Schedule post by Paul Graham in the description. You will get to know why I made that decision. I would highly recommend you checking it out. I had a hard time communicating with team members and clients too, until Mads from Mads Management Consulting fixed it. So, from synchronous communication, Slack, WhatsApp, Discord, Skype, I switched to asynchronous communication, that is emails and Trello. Asynchronous communication is any type of communication where two people are not expected to be present and available at exact same time. Basically, this means when you send an asynchronous message, you don't expect an immediate response, while synchronous communication is between two or more people in real time. So, asynchronous communication style helps big time with non-interrupted communication and hence saving the time as well.
Future's now, old man.
I used to communicate via Slack for everything, but now if someone on the team wants to ask or mention something related to the project, they do it inside Trello, and we use Slack for urgent matters that need immediate attention. Another tip is to answer questions with a question. For those who are thinking, here you go. New hire may ask why we are not seeing any improvement in GMB ranking. Now, while it was mentioned in SOPs to build solid citations from industry-relevant business directories, the manager may proceed. Have you built citations yet? This technique can prompt employees to consider solutions they might not have initially, and it's a way to foster reflective communication rather than just providing answers outright.
And modern problems require modern solutions.
Next up, I have a specific time in my day to check if there is anything inside Trello that needs my attention or it was scheduled by the manager for me. Do you remember the time slots where I blocked my time for unassigned activities? That's the one. Now, same goes for the email. I will share how I manage my email later in the video. Since we are talking about communication here, one preference that I have especially for my team members is about voice messages. Although I love sending voice messages myself, but I hate receiving them.
I hate it! I hate it!
I will tell you how I send them. Doesn't matter if I'm sending it to a friend or a colleague. First, I write the bullet points first on my laptop or paper, depends on where I am, and then pick up my mobile phone to send the voice messages explaining those bullet points. This way, I don't get lost what I wanted to say.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Next up, if there is something that needs you specifically and it doesn't happen frequently, you can block a time slot and inform the manager that you will be available each day for them to respond and they can get it done. For example, for me, it's verification codes for invoices. Previously, my manager used to send it any time of the day, but we don't have that problem now. He knows I will be available at a particular time of the day for verification. He proceeds with the stuff and we get it done in 15 or so minutes. Alright, onto the email management part. I learned this from Jason Hennessy and it was an absolute game changer. For my emails, my personal virtual assistant divide them into 4 categories. Number 1, immediate attention folder. These are the emails that can't wait until later in the day or tomorrow. I have my assistant message me whenever such emails comes up that needs my immediate attention. Number 2, do or review today folder. Place emails that need a response by the end of the day or is an answer to a question I have asked. I dedicate some time at the end of the day to review these and response as needed. Again, I have 15 to 30 minutes time slot for this in my Google Calendar. Number 3, Friday review folder. These are the emails that need response by the end of the week but can wait a few days. I schedule a block of time every Friday to reply to these emails. Number 4, casual reading folder. This is the final folder where emails go that might be interesting but don't require a response, such as newsletters or other subscriptions. There is no pressure to read these, but I subscribe to them for a reason, right? So if I have an spend extra time, I browse through them. Every 2 weeks, the assistant clears these up if I haven't read them. Again, now is the time for performance tracker, time audits, and inputs outputs sheet. I recently started practicing it after Julian's recommendation, and it was an absolute game changer. You will now find the answer why I use a stopwatch to track the time it took for each task or activity. So, in the same warmer Google Sheet, I have 3 subsheets: performance tracker, time audits, and inputs outputs sheet. Within performance tracker, I have 4 types of columns that I need to fill in the morning, evening, and before bed. You can see the table on the screen on what I track in the morning, evening, and before bed. And here is how the final sheet looks like. It's a game changer in a way that I have to consciously think in the morning what are those things I'm grateful for, could be personal or business, and what would make today great that I can control. Same goes for evening. What are some of my wins from the day and how I can improve? As you might have heard, what gets measured gets improved. Same is the case with your sleep, book reading, meditation, and exercise habits. There's a reason I keep track of them. Yes, I fully understand it must be automated, but I don't want to, because writing it down consciously really helps train my mind where is the need for improvement. And the time orders are where I note down the task or activity, how much time it took in minutes, what is or what will be the ROI of my time on that task, and whether I should keep doing it, delegate, eliminate, or automate. One very important thing that I keep saying is do not automate tasks that you can systemize, and do not systemize that you can automate. I don't know where I heard this, but it's very effective advice. The third sheet may not be implemented on all of you listening, but it will highly relate with the business or agency owners. In the end, honestly, nothing matters other than getting things done. You can watch hundreds of videos or read books on productivity, but if you're not willing to take action, it's just a waste of time. So with inputs and outputs sheet, I really have to think, did I do the tasks that can bring revenue into the business? Inputs can be anything based on what you do and what's your responsibility in the business. For me, being a founder and head of marketing at GrowthWinner, creating video and text content, promoting it all over socials and groups, running or managing ads with different ad sets or A/B test landing pages, networking with people online, all are inputs. That results in getting more clients, networking calls, and consulting sessions. Those are outputs. Okay, let's get out of the sheets and let me share some tips with you that I personally follow. Tip number 1. I always keep a pocket diary with me. It works in a similar way as sticky notes in the office. I note anything that comes to my mind while traveling, working, or while having a discussion with self. Yes, I understand while having the iPad, iPhone, and access to digital gadgets, then why a physical diary? This is because with digital notes, we tend to delete thoughts before we even write them down. With a physical pen and paper, you have to first write it down before you remove or erase it. Tip number 2. Around 3 p.m. or so, I take a nap, and it's nothing fancy. I just lay down on the sofa or bed and close my eyes for 15 to 20 minutes. I try not to think about anything related to work. It really charges me up for the rest of the day. Tip number 3. As we are talking about resetting the mind, another practice that I follow while switching from one task to another one, I look at clean plain wall with monolight color or simply a white plain sheet of paper for 5 minutes. I don't know any scientific reason, but when we are working on something and want to switch to a new task, our brain keeps thinking about the previous task. So in order to reset it, I follow this technique. Tip number 4. This tip is related to those managing SEO projects. Checking analytics once a week or twice a month, whether it's Google Search Console, Google Analytics, Amazon Dashboard, whatever. Since checking analytics doesn't make you money, it's getting the work done that does. Tip number 5. Social media apps are biggest culprits when it comes to focusing on work. So I have some rules how I use it. The worst part of social media is that we are being controlled by algorithms, aka what algorithms wants us to see. Think of Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, or even Twitter, any platform where we just go on, scroll and scroll and scroll. I think it's technically called doom scrolling. Since I don't want algorithms to feed my mind with the stuff, first I use Newsfeed Eradicator extension on desktop, and I only open social media app when I have to search for something. For example, if I want to watch a particular channel on YouTube, I would open the app and search for the name of that channel. Or it could be a topic on which I want to watch a video. You see, I'm not opening YouTube directly and start scrolling to see if the algorithm has something interesting for me. Same goes for Facebook. I never open facebook.com. Rather, I bookmark my profile, so whenever I type in facebook.com in browser's search bar, it opens my Facebook profile. This way, I consciously think of what's that's the reason of opening Facebook. Since I'm mostly answering good questions in the groups, I never scroll through my personal feed. Rather, I open facebook.com/groups/feed. That was for the desktop. What about mobile? On Alex's recommendation, I tried using grayscale mode and it reduced my mobile usage up to 69%. That's huge, but I started feeling pain in my eyes, and since I take a lot of photos, I had to turn it off again. But that doesn't mean I have started to use my mobile again for hours. I have turned the settings for notifications and some apps. First, I do not have any app on my home screen as well as the screens other than the home on my phone. All of them are in app library, and whenever I have to use an app, I search for its name and then open it. This way I don't get distracted time by time with the notification labels or badges that are appearing on the apps. Also, I have turned off all notifications, whether it's banners, badges, or even notification sounds from almost all apps except the ones that are very important for my work or personal routine. For example, I have turned off notifications for Slack, but not for emails. Same goes for phone and meditation apps. I have their notifications turned on. Well, unless your work depends on it, try to delete all social media apps for 1 week and see the difference yourself. If you can't delete them all, start by deleting one each week. Eventually, you will get rid all of them. Another thing that you can try is aiming to reduce mobile usage by 10% every week. Since when we aim to reduce it by, let's say, 80% by next week, we never achieve that goal and ultimately give up. You have seen black wallpaper on my screen. I installed it once I watched a video by Peter 1.5 years ago titled "Your Phone is Your Enemy," and never changed that wallpaper. I would highly recommend you checking it out. The link to download the wallpaper is in that video's description, and you will get to know why I downloaded that wallpaper. Lastly, I want to say it's life and shit happens sometime.
Sometimes shit happens, someone has to deal with it.
Some days I just can't follow 100% schedule like I explained earlier. That's perfectly fine because I'm not a robot. I'm a human at the end of the day. And before I conclude this video, I want to express my gratitude and huge thanks to the people I learned from and improved my routine for better productivity, hence getting more out of my time being a business owner. Sorry if I missed any name. You guys have special place in my heart.
You're my heart, you're my soul.
That's it for today's video. Let me know if you have any suggestion on my productivity system and how I can make it better, or if you want to share your routine in comments, please do. See you in the next one. Bye bye.